Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Asian session, and we will record the daily webinar as well. Quick information, this afternoon there'll be no New York session because it's bank holiday in the US and Canada. There's no point being there. For the rest of the week, I'll check, but we'll probably be here. Again, if anybody needs any one-on-one, that could also include installment traders. Just ping me, send me a message. We'll set up a time. We'll do the one-on-one. I think some people had asked in the past, and I told them those were when we were in the busy times. So if you were one of the person who I told, let's do it next week or the week after, then come back to me, send me a message. We'll do the one-on-one. We'll use this week to do all the one-on-ones that we have, and get them out of the way. Mid-November, it's close to mid-November. We will be doing a course. The course this time would be a little different. We wouldn't go through all the technical stuff and all the things that we did that's recorded already. So you watch all those recordings, and we will start with a week of Q&A, which means everything that traders, new traders, senior traders that find difficulty in that part of what we record now and thing, we will get through those questions first, and then we will do a lot of practice. Practice will be two types of practice, or any form of practice. So if a trader finds he's having difficulty with technical analysis thing, you can come and do your practice on technical analysis. If a trader finds he's having a problem identifying pattern, come and do the practice on identifying pattern. If you find you're having problem in the trading itself, then you know how we do that, right? You come, you bring all the bad trades you made for the last 2 months, like the trades are giving you problem, and we break them up and see what we could have done differently. So it doesn't matter what type of practice, just give me a time, your time, and as long as you're there, we will do the practice session. It doesn't necessarily mean everybody has to turn up. Right? If you want us to record it, if it's a practice session and the account, we don't necessarily have to record that. That's more personal. Traders can come if they want to learn as well. They'll learn something, but we don't have to put it on, if the person has an objection. If it's okay, we record it and keep it for future so traders can watch and learn. All the other ones will be recorded. So if you can make it at a practice session and you're not doing the practice session yourself, then you can watch the recording and learn something from it. Right? If you need a practice session yourself, let's make it happen once we do the course. So the course is going to be a lot of practical stuff. We'll still do it 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks if necessary, but it's going to be mostly practice, right? A lot of practice because the theory is there already. If I go through, there is no new thing to add to those theories that we already have there. But if anybody is struggling with it, we will do it as a practice part. So I can see where you individually struggle with it and then correct what you're doing well. I think that would be a more proper use of the time than to me go and tell you how to put trend lines. Again, it's going to be the same way I repeat how to do trend lines previously. That doesn't change, right? Or how to identify patterns. The recording is there, it wouldn't change. Let me see how you're doing it and I correct you. That's a more better use of the time. So we'll probably spend 6 to 8 weeks. It doesn't matter how long. If it goes over to the next year, we will do that. Because any other course next year would be till in May, June, not earlier. So we'll have enough time for you to have enough practice to do that and get learning. The whole point is that you get to that level where you can trade with comfort. So with that said, let's go. Let's start. I'm going to go through all the majors and we'll try to see if we can record everything and we'll go from there, right? Keep the recording for you to trade it earlier because we don't have any New York session. So the earlier you get it, the better it is. Let's start dollar index. So dollar index did go up, it did break out, but it didn't actually continue. And this is where, if you were with us Friday, I said, take the profit and wait for another flag because you never know what it's going to do. And if you had to go to sleep, take your profit and call it a day, which was good. If you did that, you did excellent. Take this off. It actually reversed all of that. So if we take this out, there are two ways, if you're looking for a pattern, 2 ways we look for a pattern. The first one is either this, oh, come on, what the hell is going on here? Okay, either this here belongs to something in the past or this here is making something in the future, right? So this could be a bigger flat forming here and then they like this is 1. So you get 1, 2, 3, you go back up and then it starts dropping again. And then we will go with 1, 2, 3. That's one option. I think that's the least likely option, right? I personally think that's the least likely option because this move down is really sharp. Normally you don't see that option. So the most likely option is that this here is a running or expanding flat, depends if it breaks the top or not. So if we take this out, it's most likely like this. So this one here more, and you can see this is very sharp, this is very sharp, this wasn't very sharp. Even when we put that on, we weren't too satisfied with it because it wasn't too sharp, but it works. Like I said, at the time that you're putting pattern, if something makes sense, use it. It made sense to sell that because it worked. It made sense to sell this because it worked. Right? And in the correction, that is what it's going to do. So this now we can probably say, you know what, that is 1, 2, 3, a big one. This is 1, 2, we probably get one more down. But the higher they go back to the top here, the more they push back to the top, the more they're convincing us that there is momentum to the upside, that this might not be the start to the downside, right? We were always thinking that, well, if you're going to go to the downside, then it will start to drop more to downside. The momentum would be more with bigger impulse down, lesser correction up. When you're getting bigger corrections up and the impulse are very short away from the low, then you think, well, this may be some kind of thing for one more up. Now, that could be a correction of its own. It doesn't necessarily have to fit with anything. This is, as it stands, it's a correction of its own. So what we will look for today is what we have here. I think most likely we're going to get a sell because this is a 1, 2, 3. I do believe it could drop one more. Right now, assuming that we're correcting this to go down. It's going up, and that's okay. You've got to pull back here. You've got to pull back there. If you're in the buy in this, that is okay. Watch it when it breaks the top. That's all you want. When it breaks the top, it can drop. If you think this could drop anytime for the sell, then the trade would be an entry order under this low. When it breaks this low, get that to break even. Because remember, the big picture is still upside. Right? We're still assuming that the big picture is upside. The only way is, well, if this goes up now and make a flag, let's say this goes back like this and make another flag. We're getting flags and flags and flags inside of this. That doesn't look like the turning point, but we can still buy this flag. Remember, there's still an option of this being a flat here forming, right? Going back up and then drop. So if we get this flag, we can do the same thing. Buy, put a sell entry here. Or that's where the stop is going to come. So which one is it? You don't have to know that because there's nowhere you can know which one is going to be. Both of them are possible. So follow what is happening here. Keep an entry order for a sell, and let's see what happens. Let's see where it goes. Silver. So we're going to put this as a sell because there's an active sell in it. Silver went up. I mean, and then if you look at silver, this thing is extremely flat. Right? Even when we were in here, we were like, no way this thing is going to be the start of an uptrend, right? I don't see this. I don't see having this being the start of an uptrend. Can it make a deep pullback and then go for a sell? Absolutely. Why wouldn't you want to sell this? I think that's a clear sell setup. Even if you're correcting this thing here, this one you're correcting, the last time they corrected that, they came the last time they correct this, right? Well, this piece, the last time they correct that impulse, they came back to the bottom. They correct this impulse, they came back to the bottom. Where are they going to go to when they correct this impulse? I think they can come back to the bottom. So that comes with gold, right? If this can come back to the bottom, then the chances are gold could also come back, right? Gold broke the low. This didn't break the low. So if you're looking at those two, and you have to have a clue which are the higher probability of this thing going and making a new low. You look at the ones that didn't break the low. Gold might be a running flat. So these didn't break the low. Can these be the start of an up move? Well, it can. It still didn't break this low. So this could be just deep corrections. But I think it's unlikely. We would not assume that that is what it's doing, right? Remember when this was very flat and then it went up, we were like, oh, this is not making sense, right? And then, well, eventually we could put it to this. We might end up with a different pattern. I think we might end up with this being a bigger pattern here. We'll figure that out somewhere, what that is. But this looks more downside, especially now that we're out of that structure. Right, we're totally out of that structure, and this consolidation looks good for downside. So is it going to be dropping now? Well, not necessarily. It could actually repeat this, right? Which means it comes here, but comes here like this, and then go back up, and then go back up, and then eventually drop. Once it becomes like that, it will be normal. Now it's looking abnormal because of that sharp move. So let's sell. This was easy, right? We're selling this, but we had dollar index for a sell. That means dollar index goes up more. I prefer getting this sell from the top there and see what happens. So this is a good sell setup. The only way we take this off from the sell is if this actually works its way back to the top here. Because now we know it's going to come here, but only to tag you and then go up. That's one more impulse. So convince us that it's trying to go up by going back to the top and getting closer. As long as it's here, this is a sell setup that should be valid. And then we'll see where it goes from there. So I'll put the sell here. Gold, we don't necessarily have to sell gold. Gold is already going up. If gold goes up and silver go up, then we would know that this comes here and go back up, and that would be a good flat for upside. As of now, I think it's a flat for upside, especially in the hourly. I think it's a flat for upside. The only thing you have to be careful of here is that when this goes there and break this top and go there, that gives you divergence at the top there. This would be the single move, and then a deeper correction starts before they go, if they're going to go up. So you would start to see divergence at the top here. And then 1 hour, you don't see it, on the 15, you'll see it. See that goes down there now? The next up move would be divergence in this. So the next up move, this will come. It doesn't necessarily have to cross over. If it cross over, that'd be great, but there's no need to the crossover because this whole piece is one piece. So it could just come deep enough, go back up, and you'll see the internal divergence there. Should we sell this? Sell silver. Why sell this one? Even if both of them are going to drop really hard, why sell this? Sell silver. Silver has a higher probability to them. This is a low. And if that is the absolute low, then we go up. We literally go higher, right? So we can keep this for a buy opportunity and keep silver for a sell opportunity. We'll put this look for a buy setup. It's not there as yet. Euro, same here. Euro actually dropped really sharp. It went up a little, dropped really sharp. That was our sell. If you closed it here and took some profit, you did excellent. It went up, it's coming down. Now, here's the thing. This contracting flat, and the rule is all contracting flats can become running flats. We'll repeat that rule as often until everybody gets it. I think all contracting flats can become running flats. And that is exactly what I think happened here. Got ourselves a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We broke the top. This is 1, 2, 3 up. This is 1. It's coming down. It doesn't have to be 3. It's coming down. I don't think it belongs to this. If this is going to play any role in the future pattern, then what we should expect is this one to come down here, make a sharp move up there, complete it with this one, and then drop. That's the only rule. Right now, it does not belong to this. This is a consolidation of its own for downside. Literally, it looks downside because they pull back really deep into this impulse. And the only way we're convinced that this is going to continue to go again is if this actually goes back to the top there, come back here, make a flat, and now we look for a buy setup. So there's no buy setup in the immediate structure, but there's a sell setup that is forming. All it needs to do is pull back. This had a pullback here. This had a pullback here. Running flat or two separate flags, doesn't matter. What I want to see is this. Going back up to the top there, giving me something that looks like a small flat, and then we go with the sell. Should this make it bigger here? We just wait for it to come back, go for the buy. So right now there's a sell setup here. You definitely wouldn't want to take it here. You want it to go back. So I want this to pull back something like this, and then we look at this as a possible flat. That would be just a standalone small correction. So we'll be looking for a sell setup here. Take this off. And the trade you're looking for is a sell setup, not there as yet, but a setup you're looking for. Pound. Pretty much the same thing. And we'll probably go with the same thing as a contracting flat to become an expanding flat, or wait for this, see whether this is the running flat. This one is not the best option. It's possible, just not the best option in it. You could make an argument for this, right? That this here is this one, like 1, 2, 3 to the top there. And then you get 1, 2, 3. I think we could make an argument for that, at least for now, until we see what this piece does. Whether this piece is going to incorporate this as a bigger flat here. Which direction? Well, it's coming down. If it pulls back here, you can sell this to see how far this comes. It could probably come and go back up like that, but it will still be a sell. Because if you're dropping through the bottom, it makes sense selling it. So let's wait and see which one we get. I'll take this off. And I'll take that. Both the buy and the sell was good. The buy would have been a break even. The sell would have been a good profit, and then off. So let's see which one. I still think all of this might be a bigger flat in here. Right? It just doesn't seem like this could stand alone. So this one is a standalone. So right now we're waiting for a small sell setup. Let's see if we can get that. Aussie. Aussie actually did make a big running expanding flat in there. Went back, we test the top. This is a sell setup. But this one is pretty sharp. So I think let it go back up. Let it go back up, confirm that sell. And that's an easy one, right? That should be an easy one. Can it make a flat here and go back one more and then come? This one had a small flat. This had a small flat here. So that would be okay. It could be a more complex pattern than that, but for now we will go with this one, which means wait for it to go back up there and then look for a sell setup. If it makes a flag here, we'll sell, but that would be a running flat. And that could change. This could be a correction for one more up. New Zealand. We haven't broken that top, but then the question is, do we need to break the top? If we're looking at this as an expanding flat in the middle, right? We're looking at this as the impulse. That is one up there, down there, and then you got another impulse. We broke that top. These two are literally equal almost, right? So if you're going to measure those two, the impulses, we're going to put it to the bottom here. It's from this bottom here to the top there. That's it. That's the impulse, right? From this bottom line to there. So let's put it from this bottom to that top there, perfectly equal. Right? So there's no need for this to go higher. It can go higher, but there's no specific need for it to go higher if we look at this as the flat. I'll take this out. Right? So we're looking at that as a flat. The connection with this top would be connecting this top. Inside is the expanding flat. Right? If you take this out, the expanding flat is in the middle. So put back the expanding flat. We're looking at this impulse and this one, both of them really slow. This one's a little faster. I think that thing really looks flat. I really don't see this as being the impulse to the upside. Not that it can be. We never broke the low, so it can still be a very slow impulse starting. But I have a very, very high, well, a very strong feeling that this thing is going to drop. It's very corrective. It's more like this piece when this piece was doing that. So we're going to drop here and then go back up. So come to the 1 hour. Can we get a sell setup now? If we get it, we'll take it. Can it actually go higher? So take this off. Can this thing go higher? Absolutely. It can actually come and break this up. So 15. Right now it's looking downside. Let me, sorry, take that out too. Let's pull a trend line across this one here. And what we want to see is that this stays in this range here. You want to see something like this, and then we can go for that sell. Not coming back to that top, because if it goes higher back into that top, then that changes what we think is going to be a correction for one more up. And then probably drop. So sell setup, yeah, we're waiting for that. Yen, well, nothing magical happened. Anticipate that up move. It didn't have to break this low as well. Went right up, and now we're actually have to decide what this is doing. Is this ready for a drop, or is it going to go? We're going to get one more drop because we definitely have to get this one. And since we're back at the top there, the higher probability is that, well, if this drops here, it could still go back up. That would be a perfect flat. Right? You could also make an argument that because it's such a big one, this pullback here is pretty good. So this 1, 2, 3 is good enough for this to drop all the way to the bottom. In any case, there's a trade to get this trade or the total down trade. Now, the only question here is the downside ready? And I'm going to go here to see that internal structure. I think this would be the first piece. This is up, this is down, this is consolidating, which means you're stuck. And that's not giving you any clue. You're getting a flag here. And that flag is inside a bigger correction. So you want this to actually go up like this, come back here, go back there, give you this flat, maybe come back here, make a bigger flat here, retest that up and then drop. So then that would be a running flat. It could also go here and make a running flat. So that would be a regular flat. Go to the bottom and then go back up. The sell would still be a good idea. We have no buy setup. If you think this is going to drop, put an entry here for the sell. That's not going to tag you, but you can put it. There's no, there's no wrong in putting that there if you think this thing is going to go up slowly here, right? Or even if it's going to come here and then go back up, you can get break even out of it. Maybe put it a little higher, put it here. Did we break the top? I mean, within this structure, we didn't break that top. Wait for the top to break before you do that. Put it here for now. But once it breaks this top, you can move it up to the last impulse. Okay, this is not a last impulse. This is still correction, right? This one could still come here and go back up. Could still go there and come here and go back up. Go there, come here and go back up. So it could still be a correction as long as we haven't broken the top. So wait until it breaks the top and then move the entry up higher. Can we buy it? No. Bad idea. Swiss also went up really sharp and then came back. I think I changed this also for a running flat, because I think we could make an argument with this being a flat in there. This had a flat here, this had a flat here. So it's kind of a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 drop. This is definitely a sell setup. And you can literally put that on right now. Right, so you can do like this. and put an entry for a sell here. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to go very far. Remember, we were waiting for this running flat. Turns out it might be an expanding flat, and it's still pretty much upside. Structurally, we didn't change anything to the downside. Now, the only thing is whether this is starting a bigger correction here. If that is the case, then this sharp move doesn't really fit with anything. And putting it with this one doesn't make sense too. So as the closest is either we're going to have an expanding flat, which means this comes, take this out. Leave that there, take this one out. This comes here and then go back up. That means this just break the low here and then go right back up, and that would make sense, expanding flat. So if you're taking that trade, you're taking it with a lot of caution. I'm going to leave this open because we don't know where it's going to go. Go back to the 15. It's a trade setup, not necessarily is going to go very far. So once you break that low, if you know this is turning, you want to get out of it. It's going to continue to go, it's a good trade. So the sell. CAD has more to go. So yen could go down a little more. CAD could go down a little more. Let's see. I think if we have to sell, if I have to sell the Swiss or the CAD, I'll go with the CAD. Because the CAD sell makes sense. Logically, in my head, this sell here is a good one. This makes sense, right? I'm looking for this trade to come more here. Maybe the Swiss also goes, but it's an expanding flat, and I don't know where the hell it's going to stop. But I think I can make a guess where this one is coming to. So that entry over there is a good sell. I think it can go a little higher, might consolidate more, but this sell is a good idea. Should it drop, you want the trade. So this is the sell. Euros. It's not exactly completing the pattern, still making another one. So this up move was good, but we're making another consolidation here, which if you take this out, let's put this back here. What are the chances that this here is only correction? And this is just going up really slow. Because you got a flag here and you're getting a correction. You take this off. This is becoming a correction, right? A bigger correction here. And most likely it's going to be something like this, that is squeeze. Or this one is come back and retest the low here and then go back up. So there's one more upside. That's the equivalent of this. There's possibly one more upside here. $300p. What is 300p? Well,
Pips, Mr.
Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking in terms of money. What is 300p? 300 pounds? Yeah, sorry, 300 pips up from where? From where are you counting?
From where it stands.
From here now?
Where it stands right now, yes. I took the
300, that is 66, and 3, that is 69.
to reach the top again.
Yep.
I'm in the daily. I'm in the daily. So
yeah, the daily would go, but we were trying to figure out whether this flat is completed. The daily is upside. What I'm trying to see is whether this
the flat on 1 hour is completed from
whether this comes back here, retest this low and then go, because we have a lot of consolidations in here.
It shouldn't. This one should be the consolidation out of this one, and this one small is a consolidation out of this one. So this should go right about now. In my book.
No, you died the big picture. What I'm talking about, this piece here, we have a lot of consolidation. You see this pullback here? It's inside of this. See this flat here? It's inside of this. Once you have so much of this consolidation here happening inside of that, the chance of this going back here, retest that low and then go, is pretty high. So buying at the top there would be a dangerous place to buy. Here's how we take this trade if it goes. Let it break the top and let it break this top and put a line. Let it break that top, make a flag. Confirm it's going higher. Because there's a very good chance that this comes back here, probably even a few more like this. Right? If it does come back here, it will break the top, but then it could come back right back into here, into this, drop back into this piece here. Not necessarily single move, maybe even this one drop. Maybe even this one here drop back here, because they remember this had a pullback and a pullback and then drop. So think of this as a pullback and a pullback and a pullback. Come here, and then that becomes the buy. So you want a confirmation above that top. You want a flag that you can buy above that top. Because if you don't get that flag, the big picture doesn't start. The big picture is upside. The only question is whether this flat, see that they make really complex flats sometimes, whether that small flat there is over it. So wait for a flag above the top, above that line there. If we get a flag, it's a buy. If you don't get a flag, then the possibility. So I'm going to put it two ways. Once it get there, you want a flag. Where is it? Oh, it's here. Sorry. You want this little flag here for upside. That's sorry, wrong one. You want a little flag here for upside. That confirms the upside. Or from this point, you want them to literally drop back to the bottom here and then go from here. Then we get a bottom. We get a buy from the bottom here going back. So bring it back on the 15. And because of all this consolidation in here, you want to be careful. The higher probability is that they will retest this low here and then go. Watch it for this piece. Above that, a flag, perfect buy. You want a flag here, and then you want that trade. Because even if they break the top, there's no guarantee it's going to go. It could come back on the way. There's too much consolidation in this piece. I don't like the amount of consolidation we have in here. That's not on, and that's on an impulsive thing. This piece more like this piece here is more like, let me put it like this, and I'll put a line here. This piece did get some pullback in it, but it's still more impulsive than this is. So keep an eye on that one. We would look for a buy setup. We just don't have it as yet, so I'll put a buy setup. Euro New Zealand. It's kind of dropping. Probably put it like this. And that flat makes sense. We're still dropping. What is the big picture of this? Put it back on the 1 hour. I still think it's upside. But if it keeps dropping like that, we'll have to figure out if this fits with anything. It's not fitting with anything that eyes can see. So maybe one more down. We expect this to go one more down too, right? We think it could drop one more here and then go. Let's come back to the 15 minutes and see if we have a buy setup. Not as yet, but we could get a buy setup if this makes a flag, right? If that makes a flag, we'll go to buy. I'll pull this one here. I'll put it like this. And if that makes a flag, we'll go for the buy. I think this is a running flat. So this kind of pull back, wait for this. Any flag here or above this would be a buy setup. Otherwise, to that, they just drop, and then we'll see what happens. We don't have a sell setup. So wait for a flag to buy. Euro yen. I think we're getting a sell setup here. It went back to the top. All the way to the top, didn't break out. It's coming back down, so we'll see. We can sell as long as it's coming back down. I hope they will break out this time, but if they're coming back down, let's sell it. You want a flag here to sell. I would probably put this now as a running flat. Considering what the way it went, we'll probably go with that as a running flat there. Okay, this is more of a correction. So this kind of a 1, 2, 3, sharp drop. Wait for a flag here, sell. Let this go back up. It could consolidate more. It could actually consolidate a lot more in here, but then this becomes a flag for a sell setup. So can it go back all the way to the top? Probably. Will you buy it here? Bad idea. It is a sharp move down. So the best idea would be wait for the sell, and let's see how that behaves, and then we'll come back to it. So wait for a sell setup. EuroCAD. Okay, I was expecting a pullback and then go. They actually drop. I was expecting this one, like this, and they drop. So can we still go with that as a possible expanding flat? I don't like that expanding flat. Some reason I don't like that expanding flat. And the next thing is this one is already the bottom here. So this is one impulse. Nether will take this as a small correction. Another impulse, they're coming down here. They'll go back up. It come back here, and then you have a bigger flat here for upside. It's still upside, right? It's just making a bigger flat. So EuroCAD is still up. We'll still wait for that upside. You just wait for this, whatever that big correction. It's not a flat now. It's more of a, it's not a flag. It's more of a flat now for upside. This one has that deep pullback here, so that's normal. Wait for this to finish what is finished, and then buy setup. So I'll put buy setup. Euro Swiss. Okay, it's coming down. We didn't get this sharp pullback in this one. Take it out. We'll get it probably sometime. We still have to get it. It's not there. So go back on the 1 hour. That sharp pullback didn't happen. And we're still going down nicely. You're getting another flag for a sell. We can sell this short term. All these trades will be short term. Right, just like this would have been short term. So we still haven't got whatever this is and whatever that is. And let's see, go for the sell. Take this out. We'll probably get it later. So right now you can put a sell setup. That's an active trade. We're expecting it to come back and kind of retest this low. Right, the trade we're looking for is the equivalent of this. Yep, more downside before they go back up. So go for the sell. That sharp one will come. We'll get it somewhere. Pretty sure it will come somewhere. So this is a sell setup. That's an active sell. Your pump. Okay, it doesn't look like this sell is going to go anywhere. That is a sell. You should close it. It seems like we're getting another sell here, but this is also useless. It will probably just break this low. Maybe give you break even again. So put it, why not? What if surprise happened and it drops through the bottom? That could be a surprise. Worst case is you get break even. Sell. Pause. Okay, so it went up some more. Think expanding flat. Because this is the single sharp move. There's no question about that single sharp move there. So the only question is this piece, and that means downside. Pretty similar to the Euro Aus. We can make an assumption that this has a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, and this one would likely break that top. Right, this is the correction of so, and this would likely break the top, but then we still have this. So at some point it has to come back here and then go. I don't think we've got that. So right now this is upside. I wouldn't really go for the bias yet. Wait for it to break the top and then look for one more down. Then look for this one down. And then we will go up from there. Once we completed that flat, once that flat is completed, comes back here, give us that running flat, we start to look for buys from here going. Now, can this be, I don't know, a weird correction with the previous part and they're going up slow? I don't mind this being part of this one here. If we look at it that way, let's say we thought this is part of this. It's not perfect, this is sharp, but even if you want to go with that, you're not supposed to have a correction here and a correction here inside of that. Right? You're supposed to get a fast move, a small one, a fast move, then a correction and a fast move. So we'll get out of it, right? See the reversal. This is the reversal impulse. We actually reversed this one. We didn't consolidate in here. If you consolidate in this impulse, you're going to drop. If we consolidate in this impulse, we're going to drop. So if we consolidate in this impulse, we're going to drop. So very likely downside. If you're going to buy this, if this will become a buy setup, you'd have to wait for it to break the top, make a flag, and then go for that one, right? Confirm there's one more impulse for you there. It's the safest trade to go with. So we could even look for a sell setup here short term. I mean, like short term, if you get a trade from there to go. Pang Yen, just like the Euro Yen, looks downside. If we get a flag, if they're going to go up, we'll have to change that because this is a sharp move. This is a sharp move. They're trying to go up. We don't have a buy setup. We'd have to let this go back up to the top there. That makes a flat here and a running flat for that. Then that's a sell setup. So I would say for now, we wait for a sell setup until something changes. All right, so this upside did work. Take that out. Take this out. This was the first buy here. We can take that out too. See? And on the big picture, what we were expecting. Okay, this could still go up one more. Retest the top. So what you would look for here now is first is a sell setup, but should it go higher, right? Should this thing work its way higher like this? Wait for this pullback, and then we'll buy. But that's a long time from now. Buying this to see if it's going to retest the top, maybe not the best idea. Pound Swiss. Okay, there's a sell setup here, but this doesn't seem to be going anywhere seriously. Now we're kind of good. We went sideways here, put it this way. This here was more of a big flat. I didn't retest the top, so take this out. And if this was the top, then what is the pattern? Let's see. So if this was the top, it is a contracting flat, right? Because then we would go with something else inside here, right? We'll take this one up and this one here to be the flat. And then this dropped all the way back to the bottom, go back up there, and that is a contracting flat. That's the only option we have. This is a sell setup forming here now. We can go for the sell. Now that the contracting flat is confirmed, with another contracting flat in here, makes sense to me. Put a sell entry here. That's a flag. If that flag break, you won the trade. And if this consolidation here break, it's going to go up one more. It's going to go up to this level here one more, make that flat. And then if this drop, that is a trade. That's a good trade, actually, it drops. We're looking at it like this. And we're breaking out of that contraction. So let's see. Pound New Zealand. Still going sideways. See, that went up, but it's not enough. So it's still kind of a consolidation here. Sorry, guys. And still some kind of an expansion. This could go back to the top. Let's say the 15. Okay, this is a bigger flat in here. So yeah, this would still be. What if this is it? I think that could, let's put this as a separate one. This is the impulse up. This is the correction here. This piece is the correction down. A 1, 2, 3. That makes sense. We did break the low. So the thought process is running flat, right? Running or expanding flat. Let's go with this. Let's go with this. So right now the thought process is running or expanding flat. Now that we've got this in here, this has to come up here and then go for the sell. So let it come somewhere here. We don't have to break the top, and then we're looking for the sell. In the big picture, where would that take us? Well, let this back down to about here, and then we'll see whether all of this is making a bigger flat for downside. If that happens, then we're going to actually repeat this one, which is what we discussed on Friday, right? That one that could possibly come here, go back up there, give you this, right? And then drop. Can it be bigger than this one? Maybe. We'll see. We'll filter it and see. But right now, that is a possibility. So the sell is a good idea, actually. And if you can get it from higher at the top here, it's even a better idea for this drop. The pound Swiss is a sell too, I think, right? I think pound Swiss is an active sell. Yeah, that's an active sell. Pound CAD. Pound CAD is the only one that literally looks upside, but it's not going to go now. So you can take this out because you have two sharp waves and you need the rest to form here. So we can leave that. Aussie Swiss. Okay, we're not getting so much pieces as we thought we'd get. That means we have to go with the ones we have. This looks like it's breaking out. So let's put it like this. And let's put it like this and see if that is enough. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we could go with that. You could make that a running flat and make this the internal part. Take this out. So this becomes more like a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this here is a 1, 2, 3. More like that. Wait for a flag here and sell it. So we can, we got this one. We got this one. We didn't get all of this. We just have to recount that one. So assuming that that's it, sell setup is ready. You just need it to go back up, right? You need this to go back up slightly. It was a big picture. And the big picture is a lot of downside, even to break this low. Right, so this is a little exaggeration, but you get a point. If you get a flag, you go with it. So a lot of the pound pairs are showing downside, either with an active trade or not. So let's see. This is the Aussie Swiss. So this might be a Swiss thing. We have to check the Swiss pairs. You really want this to go back up. You want this to go back up a little with this, and then that's a sell. Wait for a sell setup. Aussie yen. All the yen pairs are looking downside. So let's see what this is doing. Not necessarily looking downside. Let's go back here and see. Could go higher. Yeah, we really don't have a trade here. So this has its flat here. Let's see if this makes a flat here, and then we'll consider that for a sell, and still probably upside. Aussie cat. Okay, like most of the cat pairs, take this off. I think we can go with this as a smaller or flat in here, even with this piece. This drop, consolidation in here, and then upside because we came back to the top here. We came back to the bottom. So somewhere here, we start to get that consolidation. And then the upside. So big picture. Makes sense. Consolidate there and then go up, we'll see. Aussie, New Zealand. Okay, this didn't go up, it's still coming down. So take this off for now. And if you're gonna get any sell set up, probably let it break out of the structure totally before you do that. And a breakout of the structure totally would make sense. Otherwise, that's not making sense. So let's wait and see. New Zealand cat. Upside still possible. And let's see what's happening in this. I think we can make an argument for an expanding flat there. 1, 2, 3. But let's see what this is doing, because that could be both ways. And this piece here could be both ways. We'll just wait this out. I don't think we need to trade this, wait it out. It's coming down, it came down like this, but it's going deeper. New Zealand yen. Okay, this did pull back, not as much as we expected, but you had a pullback there, so you could make an argument that this and not fully pulled thing as a possible running flat. I think that makes sense. And then it goes. So are we gonna go down back from this point? We could, but we need a flag here to confirm that they're actually gonna go down. What if it's actually going back up to test the top? Do we think that's possible? Nope, we just need a deep pullback, a consolidation here, and one more drop. So this could be the start of that drop. It might be slow, it might be, still in a consolidation. I would say let this go back to the top there. This looks like a correction of its own. Doesn't need, if you get another flag here, even if it goes back to the top, it'd be better, but if it gets a flag, you can sell. There's no need for that to go back up. If you're in the trade from here, that's perfect. So look for sell setups. Okay, this whole piece is not making sense, this entire piece here. I think we can make an argument for a 1, 2, 3. A 1, 2, 3. All right, that is its own. So this whole piece here is 1, 2. Should go back up for one more. But it can already, let's see. There's a big flat inside of this, so it's definitely upside, but it could be a correction. Let's wait and see. We don't have a sell setup. We definitely don't have a buy setup as yet. Canadian. Okay, this one is looking more upside. Unlike all the yen pairs, this is looking more upside. Try to figure out, let's see if this makes a flag here and go, because then it'll pull back and then we get it. If it comes back to the top, right? Let it pull back here and then go for the trade. That would make sense. If it's going to drop, well, I don't see this dropping because this went back really to the top. So we'll have to wait for a different setup to drop. Cat Swiss. Okay, this could drop. You could try to get it from the top if you can. There might be a sell setup forming here. It's a little small flat because you came right back to the top, and you wouldn't sell the bottom because it could literally do this and go right back up. Right? So I think we let it drop some more, make another flag, or put an entry under the low, under the last impulse for the sell. That'll be this one. Swiss yen, buy setup. This one is easy. This is one of the few yen pairs that is pretty easy, right? Buy setup. Buy setup. You can actually actively put that buy now. Put an entry above the top. Okay, so this one broke. It didn't break this. They went back. Good enough. Now we can complete this flat and go for the trade. Complete this one here as a flat, and that means this upside makes sense. Drop, go back up, gap. Look for sell setups. Look for sell setups definitely from there. So this is waiting for sell setups. Any flag you get will be a trade, because now we'd assume that that is a gap, and we're good. This is a flat. Sorry, gap. This is a flat and then downside. I like it. See if we get a sell setup in it. Come on. Nothing as yet. Wait. Let's go. Natural gas. More up. That makes sense. Seems like we're going to go up a lot. If you're in the buy, good for you. Let's see where this will take us. Well, we might be correcting this whole thing here pretty deep. We're correcting this thing. We could go back all the way to the top. So keep buying. Just going for a deeper correction. Keep buying. Any flag you get buy. All right. US oil. The sell was good. I hope you managed to close there. They're pulling back really sharp. Here's the thing. We have to decide whether that's a running flat there. Whether we think this is a running flat. This one. If that is a running flat, it's a perfect running flat for one more up. Right? And it's possible it is. Because this one is relatively sharp. This one is absolutely sharp. Let's see if they give us a flag for the buy. If we get a buy setup here, take that out. If we get a buy setup here, that would be a buy. We don't have a trade. This is a sell. Take that out. Okay, let's see. If it's going to make a flag here, we'll buy. So wait for flag buy. Sorry, that's sell. It should be the same thing. Let's see. US 30. Okay, good. Now this drop, it didn't break the low. And that is significant. If it didn't break the low, then you're likely going to come back down to break the low. So we can put all of this with the first one down. That would be this one or this one. Add all of that with this one. Now we just put the rest of them in perspective. So if we take this one, it means you have to get this one and this one down. You get a 1, 2, 3 up. That makes sense. You have to get this one up and that one up. Well, that one up would be to this point. Yes, that makes sense. This down, this down. Yeah, pretty much sharp. Sharp. Look for sell setups. Now, there is a gap here. A gap means that your broker didn't print the candle. That's all. Can they go back all the way to the gap? Possible. If they do that, we're probably looking for a flat for upside though. So this is a sell setup, valid. Let this go back up and somewhere in here break that top. If I don't know where the top is, I'll go with this one for now. I'll go with this top. Let it come back in there and break that up, and then put a sell setup under the low here. Put a sell setup under the low here. When it breaks the top, not now. Because this is your correction. And you're pretty much still in it. So this could still drop and drop and drop and drop. Break this low, go back there, and then totally drop. So only if and when it goes to break that up, you put this here. That'd be a sell. Sorry. That would be a sell. Which means this here would be, I'll put setup because we're not in the traders yet. This would be a sell. Same thing when it breaks that top there. I think this one you can actually put it because they're almost breaking the top. Go for the sell. And this one, This is a running flat, so this is definitely ready to go. Look at this as a possible running flat here, and I think it actually makes sense to look at it as a running flat and go with it, or a channel in the making. I'll hope for running flat. Let's see, it could be channel. Could be. Pattern-wise, in the bigger picture, they all complete the patterns we were looking for them to complete. Tesla, that up move is going to complete that pattern. Yep, you can go with another buy here. It might still pull back before they go, but it's buy setup, basically. Right, so FTSE, let's see. Come on. Yep, this would be sell. Definitely go for the sell. We'll go with an expanding or running flat in here, depending which one. I'll probably go with this one here. So that'll be an expanding flat. And that means these smaller ones will be of their own making. Right, so there's a sell setup here. Put an entry order. It's already going up, so that's good. It doesn't necessarily have to fill that gap. There's no necessity for that. All that gap is telling you that your broker was not there to print the candle. Right? So you can put an entry order here for that sell. I like it. Especially with that deep pullback there. Big picture, what is it? Yeah, more downside possible. All the way back to here. Not necessarily break that low, but very close. So that drop, that single drop there is possible. Next. Very similar structure. This was, we were expecting it to go up in one sharp move. That didn't happen, which means that sharp move will be later somewhere. We actually got a flat here, and then it did happen. So go back to the 15. Yep, this one would be the full flat now. This one did have a lot of correction, so we can make an argument that actually confirms now that we break the top and we're coming down. Well, this sell setup would be dangerous. It is a sell setup. I want to see more of a decent flag, not a running flat with a gap there. So let them make a flag, go for the sell. If not, you can sell in the break. They'll make flag for that. So it's a sell setup. And this is a sell setup. This one is waiting for a setup. That one is a sell. Tesla is a buy. Let's see. Nope, sorry, take that out. This is giving us. Yep, sell setup. Pretty easy. This was your flat. Wait for a sell setup. Can this go higher? Let's see. It can go higher if it makes a flag here. But most likely we're looking for a sell setup. If it does make a flag here for upside, it can go higher. You go with the trade, but right now it's looking downside. One more and then upside. The bigger picture of this is upside. So if we get a flag, go with the trade. So I'll put this both ways, both possible. You get a flag, remember the bigger picture is this thing going back up across that. So, yeah, can drop one more, but let's see. Nifty. Okay, go to the 1 hour. It should have been closed already, but if we didn't close it, it's going to come back, give you a break even, close it, wait for flags to sell. Bitcoin. Okay, that one dropped, pull back really quick. We're still in this. But now we're in this one as well. So this is going to likely come back here for break even. We can make an argument whether we have a flat still in minimum king. I know this might come back here. The point is whether we still go back up there and then drop. And do we stay in this and go up? Do we retest this low? If we retest that low, it'll be upside. So put it here. Let's see. Still kind of slowly. You do. Let's see what that one gives. If that one gives a flat, then it's definitely going to be more up if it makes a flat here. It all depends on what we get here. This come back to the lower, it stays here, go up, stays here, go up, then drop and then go. So there's no trade in it right now. Same here, this is breaking out, but it's not really an up move, right? It broke out of this, but you did a flag here to buy. You really didn't have a flag, and this is not really an up move. It's still coming back down. So can we look at this as an expanding flag? Take this out. If that's an expanding flat, wait for a flag here and sell. Running flat, sorry. So we're running flat. We had one here like that. You have one here like this, 1, 2, 3. So it's weird, but it's common in this chart. That could be sell setup, wait for it. XRP. Yep, downside possible. We didn't break the top. I hope they will break the top first. So maybe they still go up one more, break the top, then come down. But big picture is downside. 80. Okay, we didn't also break that up when we went up. So they're probably consolidating here for one more up. It's not dropping either. BNB. So the question is whether we retest that top now, one more there, or whether it drops. Right, which one is most likely? I think most likely this thing is gonna go back up all the way to the top. Do we have divergence to the top between these two? Let's look back in the 1 hour. That is this one and this one. I don't think we have divergence. And without divergence, possibility for more upside is really high. Well, we kind of have because we didn't break out. Oh no, this needs to go lower. Nope, we broke the top. So we can go up again one more. This deep pullback tells us we can go one more. So you can see it clearer here, no divergence. This single. So yeah, one more up is possible. What would be the trade? Wait for a flag buy. Wait for this to come here, make a flag, and it's making a flag right now. If that confirms what you think it is, put an entry for a buy above the top. Right, if this confirms a flag here for upside. Dash is still going down, and I think it will probably go down some more. Dot, still downside. Okay, this one is still pulling back quite a lot. Might even retest the low. This in the big picture still looks upside. There's a weird consolidation that still looks upside. So I still think we should look for buy setups. Link. Sell setup definitely. Looks like it might be ready to go to. All the way back to the bottom. I'll go. Okay, this is the first time, even though the up move was sharp, this is the first time they're actually consolidating this range. Not breaking out, but consolidating for a sell setup. So go for the sell setup, put an entry under the low. And go for the sell. This is also a sell setup. You're getting flags, So it's probably gonna retest the low before they go. Yep, definitely look like it's planning to retest the low before they go. Let's see. Well, this was a nice start, but it didn't go. If you're out of the trade, which you should be already. And let's see how this piece goes. Looks more like a sell. So got that one. I think that's out of the way. We've managed to finish everything. Thanks to you guys for your patience. And let me stop the recording.